news cycle doesn't slow down, and neither do we. I mean, why not?
Drunk driving is not
It's
good. Z wants change and they are up for it. Like they are up to do anything for it.
Yeah.
This should have been our headline of
There
the
was
week.
10 years and I don't care. You're going straight back home. Welcome back to Chai and Espresso. If you're here after our first brew, thank you for sitting with us.
If you're new here, hi. We're two friends taking chai, espresso, and news that everyone's talking about and mixing them with our twist.
Last week we introduced ourselves, but this week we're diving straight in because news cycle doesn't slow down, and neither do we.
So it's only been a week since we last released our episode, and so many things have happened all over the world and around the internet. So let's get into this week's headlines.
So, the Vatican gathers the world big thinkers ahead of its first ever pop concert.
Nepal gets its first female prime minister after deadly unrest. Former Supreme Court Chief Justice Sushila Kirki, age 73, not only becomes Nepal's first prime minister but also the first world leader to be selected by social media.
Manchester United marked their worst league start in 33 years after a 3-0 derby loss to Man City, but no coaching change planned.
Over 100,000 people marched in London during anti-immigration protests on Friday. Police report assaults on officers amid clashes.
British actor Owen Cooper, just 15, becomes the youngest male to win a Primetime Emmy for Netflix adolescents. Okay, headline shift, but let's pour a deeper brew.
So one of the biggest stories this week come from the US, where Charlie Kirk, a 31-year-old conservative activist, was shot dead while speaking in the Utah Valley University. And the police say that the suspect was a 22-year-old who has been arrested after family members came forward and they recovered a rifle near the scene, and the footage showed that the shooter was fleeing the scene from across the rooftops.
Kirk was the co-founder of Turning Point USA, and he was a closer ally to Donald Trump. His death obviously has drawn shock and tributes from across politics. He had a wife, he was a father, two kids, and there are a lot of controversial opinion about his death. Obviously, shooting and acts of violence are never right. It should never happen, especially in politics, and it involves the whole conversation about free speech. And I mean, what kind of society do we live in if we're not even allowed to talk?
Yes, and I think it's not about siding with one opinions or one party. It's about the core problem in America, which is gun violence. And it's sad to see that, like political figures are like they are the ones at the target now, like from from racism to now school shootings to political figures. It's being built like a pyramid. And where does it stop? Like, when will the gun violence stop? And political violence as well.
So, and this is the second attempt because the first one happened to Donald Trump where they almost shoot him. I mean, it was attempted shooting and it hit his ear. So, yeah, it's violence is never right. Express your opinion and everything, whatever it is, conservative or liberal, but don't act based on violence.
Yeah, at the end, we just need to say that gun violence needs to stop in
Yeah.
America. And it's not just political figures again. It's the mass
It's an actual
shootings.
problem,
It's
like
an actual
school
problem. School
shootings, mass
shootings, yeah.
shootings.
And it's scary. It is scary to see it happening so openly, so freely, without any fear amongst the
Yeah.
people. So the shooting obviously opened a lot of conversations about political violence in the US. Researchers say that these attacks linked to politics have doubled this year compared to the last. So the question is this a one-off tragic experience or a part of growing violence in America into shaping US politics? And do let us know, what do you feel about all of the things that is happening in America, in the comments below.
And from American politics, let's move to global diplomacy. So, another topic, very controversial, but I feel like
Always in the
it's
news.
good, always in the news since 2 years. I feel like it's good to talk about this. We're moving to the Middle East. We're moving to Israel and Palestine. So recently, Israel Prime Minister Netanyahu says ties with the USA are getting stronger. And this came right after an Israeli strike in Qatar, which led Arab states to hold an emergency summit to discuss what's going on.
And at the same time, there's momentum building for recognition of Palestine as a state. France, Canada, and the UK, and several others have said that they'll back the recognition of Palestine as a state at the UN General Assembly.
Yeah, and supporters point to Gaza's humanitarian crisis and hope of reviving a two-state solution that many countries sees as the only solution to end this. But is it? And also the USA, Germany, and Israel, this country remain opposed to recognizing Palestine as a state. And we need to understand that for recognizing Palestine as a state, not only the UN General Assembly needs to be on it, but also the Security Council. And you need to vote, and these votes are important, they level up. So it depends on the country, on the state. And so recognition of a Palestinian state will face struggle. And we don't know if it's going to happen. But many countries are to recognize the state.
At the end, these two topics are difficult to talk about, but they've been in the news for quite some time, especially the Israel Palestine thing. So there needs to be some sort of decision that needs to come up front and that needs to be applied for this to subside and slow down and end violence for once and for all in both of the regions.
But we want to hear from you. What do you think about the recognition of a Palestinian state? Do you think a two-state solution would be a good solution?
Okay, that's enough about geopolitics and hard news, as we always like to close our segments with very lighter, funnier news. Because, like we said in the last episode, the world is a very difficult place right now. But it's always good to have some humor, some light news in the mix. So here are some lighter takes on this week's news.
Let's go for our espresso shots. Okay, so Ghana's fantasy coffins shaped like car, fish, even soda bottles. So they're finding different ways to bury people, let's say, in a more like light, if we can say that way. I feel
what would
fair
you
enough.
what would you have?
I mean, that is tragic.
I know
That is
but
tragic.
but remembering
at-
somebody
And some cultures even take
celebrate
that as a good thing, like moving on to another life. It's a good thing. It means the body is going to, the spirit, our soul is going to the next steps of life, which is to be celebrated rather than
Yes.
be mourned. So, fantasy coffin, I mean, why not?
Yeah,
Right? Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay. Next up, a drunk driving pensioner drives off a ferry terminal in Auckland.
I hope it's okay.
Yeah.
I hope it's okay, but don't get drunk and drive.
Yeah, drunk driving is not good.
It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It always ends up bad. So yeah. A ferry terminal. How do you? Yeah. All right. Let's
Okay,
move on.
Let's move on. Let's
Gen Z in Nepal held a mock vote on Discord, naming their first female prime minister.
Yes. I saw bits of
Social media.
It's Gen Z.
Anything
is possible.
If that means that more people will actually vote, it's a good thing.
It was. I saw the bits of it, and it was very popular. People were voting in a large number, and it is what we want in a democracy, right? Choosing our own leaders.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a bit funny that they chose Discord out of it, but
it's a more transparent process.
yes, and if it helps,
If it helps, yeah, like it. And first female prime minister. So I think that's what Gen Z in Nepal was looking for, like a change.
Yeah.
So not only just choosing on social media, but choosing their first female prime minister. So I think that is a positive outtake about the Nepal protest, that Gen Z wants change and they are up for it. Like they are up to do anything for it.
Yeah.
This is what I love to call Home Alone Part 5 or whatever. So parents left for vacation after their 10-year-old son was denied boarding due to an expired passport. So the parents, when they got to the terminal, they realized the kid had an expired passport. So, they were planning on leaving him there, and they told the airport authorities that some of their relatives are coming to pick up the son, and the parents boarded. But when the airport authorities got a hint of what has happened, they didn't let the flight to take off, and they like took the parents off board and took
They
them
just
into
wanted
custody.
to go on vacation. Probably they were waiting for that for years. And they're like, I don't care. You're going straight back home. Take a taxi. I don't care. Get an Uber. I'm going on vacation.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to go to a vacation without the kid.
Yeah,
But they
what is worse, losing a ticket or losing 3 tickets?
yeah, especially in this economy.
I mean, can you blame them?
Exactly, in this economy, like booking tickets. No, too much money.
But yeah, don't leave the kid alone though. Like 10 years old? No, that's too dangerous.
But I mean, have you watched Home Alone? So we know how that would have turned out. So
And then last news, which is I think is the most newsworthy, to be fair.
yeah, this should have been our headline of
There was
everything.
divorce drama. A husband who once donated a kidney to his wife now wants it back.
So this happened when they got married, and the wife had some complications with the kidney, and the husband was like a perfect donor, so he donated it.
And now,
now years after, when they
was like, give me my kidney.
But the court,
you don't deserve my kidney in your body.
So, but the court ruled it out. The court said that an organ, when you donate, right, it's done. Like you cannot ask it back legally. It is done.
What? But also, like, what are you doing? Are you okay? Like,
I mean, like what, asking for the house and kids or something? Like,
but that's even worse. That's even worse for asking for the house. Like, it's a kidney. Just put it back into my body. What? Just the thought of going into surgery again. Absolutely not. Like,
so I think that's all for this week.
That's all. Thank you for brewing with us. We love that you're here for episode 2 and then you're listening to us.
It gives us the motivation, and thank you so much for watching episode 1. It actually, gave us the boost, the confidence to film and record episode 2.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for your support, and follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Chai and Espresso Pod, and subscribe, like, comment, and share your thoughts about whatever news we've discussed today, and what you feel about the gun violence, about Israel Palestine, or whatever funny news you've heard.
Yeah, and we will see you next week for another brew, more news, more topics to discuss about, more funny news, and remember to keep your chai hot,
your espresso strong,
and your takes even stronger.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao. Bye.